Boy meets generator. Boy loses generator. Boy gets generator back. Okay, I've been having problems with my Honda generator here. Here's the model number. It's older. It's a good one. It's nice. But then it's had, like, it stopped running, and I thought it was out of gas, and then I poured in some gas that had water in it. And so I think, then I had two problems. So whatever the original problem was, plus water, which whenever you got two problems, that makes things real difficult compared to just solving one. You're like, which one is doing which? And so that's why right now I just have a funnel piped into the carburetor directly, so I can just pour some gas in there and I know exactly what kind of gas is going in. Don't have to worry about the tank. Okay, I'll show you some of the gas. You can see that little cloudy spot at the bottom. That's the water. So I just used one of these Planters peanut containers. If you just get anything that's clear, you can put your gas in there, you let it sit for a while, and the water will go to the bottom, and then you can see what the issue, basically you got good gas on top, and you can see the water's on the bottom. You don't want to put that through the carburetor to the engine. Okay, now I kind of want to keep using this gas. It seems okay as long as you don't take the bottom part. Then I have this thing's old, I'm talking old, Foster's lager can. So I kind of cut off the top and bent it into a little pour spout. And I like that for gas. I mean, it works pretty good. So if I want to pour it into something, like into that funnel on the generator, I put it in here and then I pour it there. But I'll show you something else here. So someone on YouTube had this idea to use a mustard or ketchup container. You can get them at the dollar store, like, two for whatever, mustard and ketchup for $1. And so I've been putting a little bit of gasoline in here. And gasoline is like way cheaper than starting fluid in the can, like carb cleaner or starting fluid. This is just a super cheap version of it, and you just, basically never run out, and it doesn't cost you nothing. Okay, so what I find is that you don't squeeze out the gas like you squeeze out ketchup. That would be too fast. Basically, if you just turn it over, it kind of pours out on its own. So you just pour, you just turn it over the correct amount. And I'll show you. Here we are. Luckily, this thing is electric start, so it doesn't go right now. Pour a little gas in there. And basically you tilt it to the correct angle, and all of a sudden it just gets the right amount of gas, which is pretty sweet. Let me tell you my strategy on a small engine that doesn't work. The first thing you do is you take some starting fluid and you run it through the carburetor, and you see if it'll run on starting fluid. If it does run, and it usually does, that means you don't have a spark problem, so you can just basically ignore that part. Because the problem is almost always the carburetor. They just stop working all the time for 1,000 different reasons. And so as soon as you see that you have spark, what you do is you go on eBay and you buy a new carburetor. So like this carburetor costs like $19. It's got, it's got electronic solenoid parts. It's got all sorts of stuff that could possibly go wrong and make things difficult. And so the first thing you do is you just order a new carburetor. And so when you're ordering a new carburetor, the thing to look for is you go on eBay, and what I do is I say, give me things that are shipping from North America only. Like, you don't want to, even though these are all Chinese clones of Honda carburetors. I don't want it shipped from China because, you know, there's a chance that it might take a long time. So I just say, you know, show me only items that are from North America, and then I order one of them, and they're, you know, it doesn't cost really any more. You know, 19 bucks. That's super cheap. And I don't try and buy like a Honda Honda brand carburetor or whoever makes this. Like a OEM would probably be $100, so I don't do that either. Well, I got the generator running. Here's the new carburetor. It, first time ever, didn't fix the problem. I think it's not quite the right one. They said it's for this model generator, but certain parts of it look differently, so you could probably make it work, but it didn't work right out of the box. So I ended up putting my old carburetor in my Harbor Freight Ultrasonic cleaner here. Here's the box. And it works by doing some sort of ultrasonic sound through, in this case, a soap and water mixture. And you put your parts in the compartment, and this creates tiny microscopic bubbles that like form and pop, I guess, on the surface of everything in there. And this is called cavitation. And it kind of, like, you know, like giant ships' propellers can be eaten away by cavitation. And if your hydraulic system gets water in it, the water can create these microscopic bubbles, and it can eat away your hydraulic pump. But you can also use it to your advantage, because carburetors have all these teeny tiny orifices that it's so hard to get in there and get every last little bit out of them. But this stuff goes around, it works around corners, and it works on a microscopic level, so it'll clean a carburetor out. And so whatever, I ran my generator now about 5 minutes, so hopefully I'm not back to it at a later date, but it seems to be working now. Another thing to mention is this had like a lawnmower motorcycle battery on it, and that went dead a long time ago, so I've been using the portable jump pack. But then this battery here from my car started having problems starting my car. Like, it still kind of worked, but it's not good enough for a car. Not to be safe, you don't want to get stranded. So I got a new battery for the car, and I put this on the generator. And like an old car battery, if it still kind of works, it's like a hot damn on starting this generator. It used to be like, you turn it over and it'd be like, room. But now you just turn it over and it's like, room, right off the bat. Pretty sweet. And I made this holder for it, because it doesn't fit the old thing. There used to be something there instead that held in the smaller battery. So anyways, I took that off, and I used some plumber tape, and then I tensioned it with a bolt. And I love this plumber's tape stuff. You just cut it to length, and it's got holes. You can do almost anything with it, seems like.